Magandang gabi po. Ako po si Henri Igna from Words Anonymous. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita sa amin. Sobrang laking privilege na makapag-share ng mga kwento sa inyo. Before I start my piece, I would like to share something that happened. Siguro kasi, di ba, a few days ago, we met with Novax. And then when I went home, I told my mom immediately all the things that I learned. And we had a healthy discussion about it. Medyo mahirap din kasing ipapaniwala sa mga konserbatibong pag-iisip. Sa mga conservative. Ang pangit atang tawaging konserbatibong pag-iisip yung nanay. Anyway, so nagkaroon kami ng diskusyon at siguro yun yung gusto ko sa mga ganitong klase ng events. And what I like about spoken word poetry and anything that shares stories is that we start discussions. And I hope by this piece I'll be able to let you think about things regarding drug use, depression, and everything in between. A friend asked me before if I was sad, and I said yes. Because for me, sadness is simple. Sadness is waking up 10 minutes before your alarm clock sets. Sadness is pending buffet dates, but all you have are empty pockets. Sadness is chicken joy, no available thigh part. Are you willing to wait? Sadness is the awkward silence at the dinner table because they said I was gaining weight. And I couldn't say anything because I was busy holding my breath to prove them they were wrong. But when someone asked me if I was lonely, I said, no, I'm not lonely. And I've always wondered what the difference of loneliness and sadness is. And I realized they're almost just the same. Except that loneliness is that weird kind of sadness that doesn't hurt as much, but it pokes you every now and then to remind you it still exists. And I feel it. Existing, breathing, trying to claw itself out of my chest with its calloused fingers at 2 in the morning, when everyone else is fast asleep and the silence makes it easier to hear all the whispers in a snore. I never wanted any of this. I never wanted to drown in all of my paper-cut loneliness. So I tried. God knows I tried. Writing all of it down on paper. But the margin scribbles draw a picture of a time when I could have been better. I erased them when I was sober. I've tried taming my own monsters. Hid them under the bed when I went out with my friends for dinner and I go home. Discover that they have grown a few inches longer. I've tried eating more than I could handle. To make me forget all my hollows empty. But I can never satisfy their hunger. Hunger for self-pity at every glance at the mirror. Hunger for hours locked up inside the room. Hunger for tears reluctantly shed whenever I hear this song over the radio. Call this a rodeo, my fake smile lasso trying to capture all my broken pieces before they get loose. I don't want to lose control. I don't want to lose control. Or maybe I do. Maybe the only thing I needed was to stay out of the dark, to keep the silence at bay, to hush all the voices that tried to reach at my throat. So I tried, rattling every nail in my body with these. My friends gave me these. No, these are my friends. I want you to meet them. Cocaine, crystal, meth, Mary Jane, Big O, Cadillac Express, and oh, they make me feel so beautiful. And I no longer hear the voices except for my own ecstatic laughter echoing from all my empty. I'm on top of the world. This is my penthouse. I am happy. A few minutes before this, I am happy 2 hours ago. I am happy last night. And it starts to go down, down. The elevator is going down, down. T-0 seconds down. Crash! Welcome to the ground floor. You are back from the start. The crash has always been the worst part. The wreckage I find myself in every morning after. But there aren't any lovers, only I woke up back at the beginning when everyone else is fast asleep, and the silence makes it easier to hear all the whispers. And every waking hour is an attempt to escape my linen coffin, as if the whole world starts to loom before you. So I tried again. They said that applying pressure can stop the bleeding, so I tried hugging my pillows tighter every night to keep the wounds from opening. But these paper cuts on my fragile being, they never bled, but it doesn't make them easier to ignore. And I've always wondered what the difference of loneliness and sadness is. And I realized they're almost just the same. Except that loneliness is that weird kind of sadness that doesn't hurt as much, so we tend to ignore it. But the moment it does hurt, it's too late to notice it. Unless someone else does. Last night, my mom asked me if I was lonely. And I said, maybe. And maybe her question is the only thing I needed to keep me from breaking. Mom, I promise I won't stop trying.